Hi everybody and welcome. This is Dawn at nerdygirlcreative.com and today I am your cruise director for another lovely tutorial. Nerdy Girl Creative is a place where you can create, learn, and share graphic design and web design ideas and projects, as well as get some awesome design assets and a lot of freebies. This week's tutorial is going to be super fun and super girly because today we are making glitter confetti brushes. We're going to be working in Adobe Photoshop as well as Illustrator to create these glitzy brushes. All right, let's get started. I'm in a new document. It's about 4 inches by 4 inches. And we're going to get started with just sort of a simple circular confetti brush. So we are going to switch our colors from white to black. Get our brush preset panel. If you don't see it over here, you can go to your window and then brush presets or brush, either one. And then we're going to go ahead and hit B on the keyboard to bring up your brushes. And we're going to hit a hard round brush today. So we don't want a soft edged brush because it kind of creates this sort of hazy effect on the outside, and we don't want that when we're making glitter overlays. So you'll notice when you come up here, the hardness is set to 100. And we're going to go ahead and resize our brushes by using the open and close bracket key. So the open bracket key makes everything smaller, and the close bracket key does the opposite, makes them bigger. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start placing circles randomly on our page in varying size and width. All right. 5 is about good. 4 to 5 usually I think is a good rule of thumb when you're creating confetti. The more objects you have on your page, the more condensed that your confetti brush will be, and sometimes you can lose a little bit of the individual assets or elements that are in there, and so usually about 4 to 5 is really good. All right, so in order to create a new brush, you have to go up here to Edit, Define Brush Preset, and then we're just going to call it Circle. And as you can see, it loaded up here in the bottom of our brush presets panel. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this layer off, turn this one back on, size my brush, which is exactly the same open or closed bracket. And as you can see a small preview of what it's going to look like right now. So you can see it is just straight line circles. Which actually is not very bad. It's very pretty. You can make beautiful pearl borders, those kind of things. It's actually, kind of a nice brush as is, but we're looking for our confetti. So we're going to go ahead and create some magic over here in the brush panel. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. We'll create a new layer to work on. And here is where all the magic happens when you're creating custom brushes. So there's all kinds of different things to choose from. When I'm creating confetti brushes, there's basically the main 3 that I'm going to go look for: shape dynamics, scattering, and if I was not making glitter brushes, I would absolutely use color dynamics. This shifts the hue of color, so if you're using 2 solid colors like a red or a red and an orange, it will give you a variation of colors all in between, which is a beautiful, beautiful effect. But I don't particularly care for the effect when working with glitter overlays. So I'm not going to use color dynamics today. We're going to start in scattering. As you can see in this one, we have scatter, count, and count jitter. I don't usually ever touch count jitter. I don't normally touch count either, and I'll show you why in just a second. So we're going to go ahead and start messing with the scatter toggle. And as you can see in your little preview panel down here, it does exactly what you think it does. It scatters the elements. So you don't want it too wide. So about there is really good. And I'll show you why I don't normally use the count. Depending on how many elements that you have in your brush, it can get out of control quite quickly. So even just bumping it up to 2, you can see how much more dense it is. And the reason I don't usually do this is because you can layer your brush. You can build up your glitter, when you're in your document. So there's no really need to kind of go any further than this because it can get out of control. And it's kind of a hot mess the further over you go. So I usually stick at 1. Shape dynamics, you have size, angle, and roundness jitter. The roundness jitter for circles, absolutely perfectly fine to mess with. It kind of creates an oval shape. It messes with the outline, so it kind of gives a nice little variation in the shape. if you're using pretty much anything that's an actual shape, a star, a square, a triangle, those kind of things, I would never touch around this jitter just because you don't want the edges to be kind of obscured and weird. So for right now, we're just going to leave this alone. The angle jitter, I'll get to that in just a sec, but we'll go up to here to size jitter. And as you can see, it kind of creates a lot of different sizes of the elements that you have in your brush. So I usually stick around 70 is usually a good rule of thumb for me. And the angle jitter, as you can see, ooh, there it goes. It shifts everything around so that if you see something that's building up too much on one area that you don't particularly care for, you can absolutely move everything around so that you can space things out a little bit better. All right, so I'm going to go right there. All right, I'm going to make the brush just a bit smaller. And here we go. Voila, confetti. Yay! I'm actually going to go ahead and make it just a bit bigger. There we go. All right, so we've created our confetti brush. Yay. All right, so I've been working on, and this will be up in the shop when this video previews, but I've been working on a very large glitter extravaganza type pack filled with scatter brushes and vector elements, and of course tons and tons of glitter patterns and glitter elements. So I have created all of these glitters already for my patterns. So if you go over to the nerdygirlcreative.com, you can actually grab all of these things over there. So we're going to go to layer, new fill layer, and pattern. And you're going to hit OK. This is going to fill in the last pattern that you were working with, which just so happens to be this very nice black and gold one. But my favorite glitter as of right this moment happens to be the mermaid glitter. I love the teal, and purple is my favorite color, so it has flecks of purple everywhere. I'm going to bump this down a little to about 50%. And these are scalable, almost infinitely. So they are patterns, so they do repeat seamlessly. All right, so 50 is about okay. And we're going to go over here and right click and hit create clipping mask. And voila, there you go. So you have this beautiful teal and purple glitter, and you can move this around. Like I said, it is seamless, so you can move it around until you shift and you see if you have a multicolored glitter, you can find the flecks that you like a little bit better and have those shine more through. There's lots and lots of stuff that you can do. All right, so we're going to go ahead and turn that off. And I'm going to show you how to go into Illustrator and bring in elements that you've created in Illustrator over into Photoshop to make your confetti brushes. So over here are a bunch of doodles that I have done. I doodle. I know you do doodle too. So we've gone ahead and scanned everything in here, and I've cleaned them up a bit, and I've got them all, nice and neat here. So what you would want to do is you can click your individual element, and you're going to hold the Alt or Option key on your keyboard, and this creates a copy, a draggable copy out here. All right, so like I said, 4 to 5 is usually a really good rule of thumb. So you're going to pull them out, and then you can, tilt them, change them, hold Shift so they don't lose their shapes, make them bigger, make them smaller. It is completely up to you what you would like to do there. So now you have your little elements. I've already created a bunch of these little brush packs patterns here. All of these are going to be available in my glitter pack, so you can get all those from that pack. I'm going to go ahead and rubber band the triangles, and all you have to do once you get them in the pattern area that you like, you're just going to Control or Command C on your keyboard, and then you just go straight back into Photoshop. You're going to Command or Control V, and we're going to paste it in as a smart object. All right, so a good rule of thumb, or something, a tip, I guess, would be for when you're pasting in your elements from Illustrator. Sometimes things get a little bit wonky going from one to the next. why this is? Well, because you don't have your anti-alias button clicked. So you want to make sure that you have this one clicked. It kind of smooths out the edges, because sometimes when you bring in over elements from Illustrator, they get jagged edges. As you can see, it kind of looks jagged there. But once I hit OK, the jagged is going to go away, and it'll have a smooth, nice, clean edge. So you're going to go ahead, go back to Edit, exactly what we did before. Define brush preset, triangle. All right, and as you can see, it loaded into the bottom of our panel. So we're going to go ahead and do exactly the same thing that we did. Shape dynamics, scattering. We're going to scatter. And then we're going to change the size, jitter, to about 70, yeah. All right, I'm going to move some angles about. All right. Now, you may be asking, well, we created a glitter brush earlier. Why didn't it save in my preset panel? Well, the reason being is that once you make changes, they don't automatically save to what you were doing. You have to create a new brush. So you would click New, and then you would rename it to what you would like. So we're making confetti, so triangle confetti. And now it pops up down here in the bottom of your panel. So just keep that in mind when you are making changes to brushes. They're not going to save unless you actually save them. So, alrighty, we're going to go ahead and turn that off, create a new layer, size it down just a little, and see what we created. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to hop over actually into a larger document just so you can get the full effect a little bit better, and you can see how you can build up your layers with your brushes as well. So I'm going to go a little bit bigger, and then we're just going to start painting. And then you come back up in here, and then you just start. And this is kind of where you get the glitter rain type effect, which is they're beautiful on invitations, on greeting cards. The sky's the limit, really. These are useful for tons and tons of things. All right, so we got the top. I'll make a new layer so that we can do the bottom. And anytime you have the new layer, you want new different types of glitter. You want to layer in gold and silver at the same time. Create new layers, and then we'll create new clipping masks. So we're going to go ahead and paint down here, and then build it up a little. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit Layer, New Fill Layer, Pattern. I want silver on the bottom, or platinum, and I think about 100, maybe 120. There we go. It's a good size. And then we'll create the clipping mask. Boom! Beautiful silver glitter. And then we're going to come up here, create a new layer as well. Pattern. And we're going to choose heavy gold. There we go. And then we'll create that clipping mask. And you can, again, like I said, it is repeatable, so you can pull these and push these around. If you can create layers with these pattern layers, but once you create a layer, it's basically cropping it to the outside of this. So don't really do that until the very end of what you're doing. So what you would do, if you wanted to do that, create a new layer, you'll bring it below the pattern fill, and then we're going to go ahead and click on the pattern fill, and you're going to hit Command E. Now Command E, when you're clicking on one item, it's going to merge the layer directly beneath it. If you have multiple layers chosen, it will merge all of them together. So that's a quick shortcut for that. But so Command E, and then there you have it. You have your glitter on a layer. But like I said, it's cut to the size of your canvas. All right, we made some really beautiful confetti glitter. I hoped you guys really liked this tutorial, how to create confetti brushes and glam them up for your projects. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to these videos. I create a new freebie or tutorial every week, so if you have any suggestions for what you would like to see me do next, leave me a comment below or go over to nerdygirlcreative.com and send me an email. Also, let me know what you guys thought of my intro. I've been learning After Effects and Premiere Pro so that I can make better videos for you guys. And if you guys have any tips or tricks, comment, suggestions, anything like that, I am always open for those. So, all right, you guys. Till next time, you guys go out there and create something amazing.